Alright everyone, on this week's video I'm going to show you how you can use parts of one image and incorporate them into the design of another image. And in this case we're actually going to be using a selection, not necessarily an element from an image, but a selection itself. So here I have an image of, it's kind of a fiery gel looking effect, and I like it because it's got a really cool shape to it, it's got good lighting and everything like that. Well, here's what we're going to do. Inside the layers panel, I'm going to toggle over to the channels panel right here. And what we want to look for is the channel that's going to give us the most contrast to the background and give us a really good selection. Now, of course, remember when we're thinking about alpha or channels and alpha channels, white areas will be completely selected and dark areas are unselected. So let's toggle through these and see what we get. And the red channel, it's a very light, it's not giving me a lot of contrast, so it's not going to work too well. The green actually looks like it might work. So it's blue. Blue's a little bit too dark there, so I think green's the winner. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and drag that green channel down here to duplicate it. It gives me the green copy. So with it highlighted, we're working directly on that copy. I'm going to go under Image to Adjustments to Levels. And all I'm going to do to increase the contrast of this image, I'm just going to click my black eyedropper and I'm just going to find an area close to the edge here. And I'm just going to click once. That'll render all those outer areas completely black, leaving only the white area in the middle here, the white and gray areas. So I'm going to hit OK. So now I'm going to open up another image. In fact, I've got this image here, and it's just this picture of this young lady, and I've got her on a separate layer. As you can see in my layers panel here, she is residing on this layer on top of a plain white filled layer. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over here and drag this channel into the channels panel of this image. So let me just move this in position here. So I'm going to highlight this image, I'm going to drag this channel, and I'm just going to drag it right over top of that existing image. And when I do, you can see the little highlight that goes around the outlines there. And boom, I'll do that, and there it appears in the channels panel. It's a green copy. Now we need to change it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this image because I really don't need it anymore. I'm going to press Command or Control T to bring up Free Transform. And again, notice we're working inside the alpha channel, inside the channels panel. So with the free transform activated, I'm going to hold down my shift key. I'm going to go and rotate this. You can see the little rotation arrows. I'm just going to rotate this so it's straight up and down like that. But before I commit to that, I'm going to stretch this up to the top and this down to the bottom. And I'm also going to hold down the Option key or the Alt key, and this will scale it out from the center, and we'll go about like that. And then I'm going to press Enter to hit OK, or to commit it. And let's just position this over a little bit. Now, this is an alpha channel, so I'm going to go back into my composite channel, back into my layers panel. So we're working on the actual image. Now, we'll go into the select menu and go to load selection. And we just need to go in there and find that channel, which was the green copy, as you remember it was called. So we'll select that option, new selection, click OK. There the active selection is based on that alpha channel. Now, because we're on this layer, it supports transparency, we're going to create a layer mask. So with that selection active, I'm going to click on the layer mask icon toward the bottom here, and boom, you can already see that gives us a really interesting effect right off the bat. I mean, we really haven't done anything but created the layer mask from that selection, and we're already getting a pretty cool effect. We're going to take it a bit further. We want to unlink the layer mask to that image by clicking on that little link right there. And with the layer mask itself highlighted, as indicated by the lines here, if I click on the layer, you can see those lines there. So the lines indicate which one you're actually working on. We want to be working on the layer mask because I'm going to reposition it. And because I've unlinked it, I can move the layer mask independently of the image. So now I can see that I need to change a few things about this. In fact, what I want to do is I'm going to bring up Free Transform just as I did before. I'm actually going to rotate this all the way around 180 degrees. So I'm just going to hold down the Control key, click right on the object, or simply right click, and then go right here to rotate 180 degrees. That will flip it around. And I'm going to, with it still active in the free transform, I'm just going to widen that area just a little bit more, just so I can get a little bit more of her face inside that area. And then I'll press Enter to commit that transform. So there we have that. Now, if I want to reveal a little bit more of her in this image, well, with that layer mask still active, I'm going to go and select my brush tool. And we're going to paint with white. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to change the blend mode of this brush to overlay. And that's only going to brush away areas I click and sample initially. So if I was painting with straight white in a normal mode, it would erase everything. It would paint, or it would reveal everything. I don't really want to do that. I still want to be kind of subtle in here. So with it set to overlay, I'm just going to click and begin painting here. And you can see it's not fully erasing. It's just revealing little by little, depending on where I've initially clicked. So if I release the mouse and click again, it's going to resample a new area and reveal that much more. It's giving me a much more interesting effect there. So you can see, if I hold down the Shift key and click on the layer mask, it deactivates it temporarily. We have done nothing to our original image. Still just as it was when we first opened it. But by bringing in an active selection or an alpha channel from another file, we're able to use that and give a really interesting effect just by using alpha channels and layer masks.